Okay, day two, back on the trail. First day back running, I did like a mile, and I can tell you when you stop running, I mean, just nothing stops working again. It's kind of a trip, so I'm running. For those who know me, know I have asthma. It's pretty much under control, but I guess when you haven't expanded your lungs in a significant amount of time, those things tend to creep up on you. So I had a little bit of breathing trouble, so I got through a mile, and I'm okay. As I'm running, I'm thinking about something that happened to me when I was a kid. When I was a kid, um, I watched this little like slapstick type comedy where there's like a family that's sitting around and having dinner and all of that. And then what happened is that the dad comes home. I guess he's coming home from work. The family's having dinner. The table's all set. It's like this little round table, small table. So it's like three people minus the dad sitting at the table. So the dad comes in, grab a fistful of tablecloth and then another fistful of tablecloth and just yanks it and pulls the tablecloth off, and the plates and the drinks and all the dishes and silverware on the table just didn't move. So he yanked it off so fast that he, was able to get the tablecloth from up under all the plates and dishes and stuff without, moving things. So as a kid, seeing this, I'm like maybe 8 or 9. So when I see this, I said, well, hell, if he could do it, I could do it. So my grandmother had like this big table. It was a long table. I don't know, I say about maybe 10 feet long, like one of those Godfathers type table. She had like this crystal punch bowl on it. She had like these crystal candles and all this decorative set that was made out of crystal. And on the table, it was covered with a lengthy tablecloth. And so I decided, hell, I can do the same thing. And so I grabbed a fistful of tablecloth. I grabbed another fistful of tablecloth. And my cousins and my sister, I'm a junior, so they always call me Junebug or Junior or June. So my cousin, my sister, and everybody's like, don't do it, no, don't do it, that sort of thing. And I'm like, I can do it. It's not a problem. I think I can do this. And I just gone ahead and remove the crystals and set the tablecloth back up and set all the crystals back up. So they're like, no, don't do it. And so I lift my little leg up and just yank as hard as I could. Catastrophe, dishes and crystals breaking all over the place and stuff like that. And when I looked behind me, my sisters and my cousins were gone. I didn't see them leave, they were just gone. My grandmother's like, what the hell is going on down there? And so, needless to say, she came down here and she seen that the table was all a catastrophe. But here's what my grandmother didn't realize as she was beating the shit out of her grandbaby. She didn't realize that there was a young kid that she was beating the dog crap out of who seen an opportunity and took action, and if honed the right way, it could be one of those things that, um, I could be very successful later in life. You know what I mean? I didn't say I didn't. I'm not saying I didn't deserve the ass whooping, but she had a grandbaby that, and God bless my grandmother, love her to death. But she had a grandbaby that saw an opportunity and seized it. Okay, and then if harnessed the right way, that power could be used for good instead of evil or catastrophe in my case. So, my grandmother owned a whole bunch of homes. She was in the real estate just like I am today, and she owned a lot of houses and stuff like that. So I think one of the things that could have happened is she could have, as a consequence for destroying her crystal set, she could have like took me with her on these houses and stuff like that, and taught me the ropes of real estate. I was heavily into real estate. Even at that age, I started getting actually into real estate at 7 years old. So, you just never know, when you see a catastrophe, a catastrophic event, what good can glean from that, or can you see the good in that? People in a lot of ways they tend to. Everybody has some good in them. You get what I'm saying? It's just their surroundings. You get what I'm saying? And things that you take in that sometimes it suffocates that good in them because you're surrounded them around a whole bunch of whatever. Like I grew up in the streets of Oakland, and at the time, Oakland was a pretty bad town. At that time, it had its good parts, but it also had its bad parts. So, so the one thing that I could have got from that is I could have got a benefit from that, and my grandmother, or in this case, could have taken me. She could have saw that, but she didn't. And not saying that she's a bad grandmother, because she wasn't. She was great. Everybody kind of stays in their lane. I had my lane of being a kid. She had her lane of being a grandmother, my mother, so forth and so forth. So, but I'm that way to this day. I've done a lot of head first leap in real estate deals. You know what I mean? I see an opportunity, like, oh my God, I got to go after it. And, some's worked out, some haven't, and that's just kind of how it is. So, but in life, you don't get the reward without the risk, and that sort of thing. And so I've taken many risks, lost a shitload of money in the process. And, I've taken some risks and made a shitload of money in the process and things like that. So it's just one of those things. But here's the thing. It all comes to your mindset. I one of my favorite movies that I love to watch, besides Brewster's Millions, it's all about money in that movie. But one of my favorite shows, the animated show, was Cars 3. I love all the Cars, but Cars 3 is the one I'm talking about in particular. And this is Lightning McQueen, is like the big time race car driver. He's getting kind of old, so he's training this new little young up and coming race car. And she was talking, and she had messed up big time, and Lightning McQueen was kind of upset with her. And she asked him, the car that looked up to Lightning McQueen was like, hey, I've watched you since I was a kid. I always wanted to be like you, and I admired you, I this and I that. And she's like, when did you realize that you were going to be a big time race car? When did you realize that you can do it? At what point in your life did you realize you could do it? I guess she's asking because she wanted an answer. She wanted to know how to kind of follow in his footsteps, and his answer was something that was so key. And it's an answer that I don't think anybody else on this planet, well, maybe some people, but most of the people wouldn't have given this answer. He says, well, I don't know. I guess I just never thought I couldn't. So in other words, anything about him not being able to do it never entered in his mind, and that is a recipe for success. And so Lightning McQueen has gotten his success, and now he's trying to help somebody else out, that sort of thing. And that's what life is all about. You get yours, or not necessarily just get yours, but you do what you do, and then once you achieve your successes, you help other people out. I think where I messed up coming up is before I truly made it and succeeded, I started trying to help people out in the process, and that's good. Don't get me wrong; it's not a bad thing. But I would say that the help from me came immature. I ended up losing a whole bunch of money in the process of that, and I ended up just hitting rock bottom. When you fly in an airplane, they say to you, like before you take off, they says, okay, the X's are 2 in front of me, 2 in the back, that sort of thing. And they say, oh, in the case of depressurization of the cabin, your oxygen mask will drop. All right, and make sure you if you're traveling with a little one, make sure you put the mask on yourself before you put it on your baby. All right, and there's a reason for that. They say that because when you're flying above 10,000 feet in an airplane, there's less oxygen up there, so you can immediately pass out. So if you're trying to put the mask on your child first, you could pass out in the process and end up destroying both of you. That's life. You get what I'm saying? When you make it, before you make it, you have to make it. You got to be able to help yourself out before you can help out others. Put the mask on yourself before you put the mask on anyone else. And once you do that, you'll find that your life will be a lot more rewarding, okay, instead of incomplete. You get what I'm saying? And so I thought about this while I was sweating and gasping for air and sucking for air and suffocating and things like that. So, just food for thought. Anyhow, Saturday morning, it is probably going to be another hot day. Great day in Sacramento, not a cloud in the sky. I know there are other parts of the world where they're suffering from those hurricanes and stuff like that. And my heart goes out to them, bleeds for them in some cases. Hope all is well with everyone, and I hope you all have a very productive and rewarding day. Blessed.